Hi, my name is Cold Beer and let's start with Dream Engines. Here the advanced society is long gone, and the world is overrun by the dream plagues, some kind of monsters. The only survivors are small nomadic tribes that don't attract too much attention. But now the discovery of a long-abandoned project of the ancients lights a new hope to build a flight-capable nomad cities. Your population and economy form the backbone of your survival. You will have to plan and build automated production lines and keep your people housed, happy and well-fed. But the wilderness below is swarming with dream plagues. To survive, you will have to fortify your city and defend it against raids for as long as you can. Although even the ancients were unable to withstand the swarming enemies forever. The longer you stay, the stronger they become. But you can always just fly away to another, maybe even more dangerous place. Psychonauts 2. Game has an overwhelmingly positive review score left by thousands of players, so that should keep your attention for a while. Psychonauts 2 is a platform adventure game combining quirky missions and mysterious conspiracies with cinematic style and tons of customizable psychic powers. The game will excite you with danger and laughs in equal measure. Here you'll have to embark on a journey through the minds of friends and foes on a quest to defeat a murderous psychic villain. People on Steam are saying that Psychonauts 2 is like Nickelodeon and Disney made a video game together on acid, and not in a bad sense. Total War: Three Kingdoms. This game recreates epic conflict across ancient China, and it is made very well. You will battle across lush subtropics, arid deserts and snow-capped mountains. You will encounter the Great Wall of China, Yangtze River and many other historic and nature-made monuments you have no idea ever existed. Three Kingdoms is a great game, and in some aspects it overshadows even the Warhammer trilogy. For totally new players it can also be challenging because the learning curve is really steep, otherwise it's fun with epic campaigns and battles. Kena: Bridge of Spirits. This is a story-driven action-adventure game which combines exploration with fast-paced combat. Everyone who played it says one thing: if Pixar made a game, it would look exactly like Kena. So here you'll have to untangle the past as Kena, a young spirit guide in search of the sacred mountain shrine. The game emphasizes exploration. By searching every nook and cranny you will uncover numerous secrets and rewards. The combat is fast-paced and the game itself is considered as a Souls-like, but just like in Jedi Fallen Order, you can change the difficulty to story mode and enjoy the game without dying all the time, which is nice. Remember, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. If you want to play in pussy mode, just do it. The game has above 90% of positive reviews and it is really hard to find anything negative about it. Jagged Alliance 3. In the sequel of the legendary tactical strategy turn-based franchise, you can select from a huge cast of mercenaries, all with their own unique personalities, quirks and backstories. Then go out and explore the land as you meet new people, earn money, grow your team and ultimately make your own decisions that will decide the country's fate. Here you will also find a campaign that you can play alone or with friends in online co-op mode. Control territory, train the locals, command multiple parties and defend against enemy forces in an alive and active world. You can customize your weaponry and even decide on the fate of the country in an open RPG structure. Honestly, I was really skeptical about the game's quality before the release, because sequels like that, especially after so many years, tend to flop, while most of them actually fail to live up to the expectations. And Jagged Alliance 3 wasn't anything like that. A very positive review score left by thousands of people proves that without a sweat. Sunset Overdrive. Here the Sunset City is under siege. A contaminated energy drink somehow has transformed most of the population into toxic mutants. For many it's the end of the world, but for you it's a dream come true. Your old boss? Dead? Your boring job? Gone? Yeah, sounds like a wet dream of every office worker. Although my advice would be to search for not boring job with a nice boss. I know, it's easier to tame a unicorn than that. Hell, what I'm talking about, it's easier to find a League of Legends match with non-toxic randoms. Anyway, here you will transform the open world around you into your tactical playground by grinding, vaulting and wall running across the city while using devastating, unconventional arsenal. The game presents itself as an open world with no rules. Run along walls, leap off buildings and grind power lines and rails to destroy your foes from every angle. Review score is around 90%, so if you like what you see, you know what to do. Rimworld. This game is always in the top 10 by rating among the best Steam games of all time. That is pretty high, probably even higher than Seth Rogen and Snoop Dogg combined. No, I'm kidding, that is not possible. Rimworld is a sci-fi colony sim driven by an intelligent AI storyteller. Inspired by Dwarf Fortress, Firefly and Dune, Rimworld is designed to co-author tragic, twisted and triumphant stories about imprisoned pirates, desperate colonists, starvation and survival. It works by controlling the random events that the world throws at you. Every thunderstorm, pirate raid and traveling salesman is a card dealt into your story by the AI storyteller. There are several storytellers to choose from. Randy Random does crazy stuff, Cassandra Classic goes for rising tension, and Phoebe Chillax likes to relax. I won't tell you what Tim Penison does. No. You begin with 3 survivors of a shipwreck on a distant world, and then your story begins. You will have to manage colonists' moods, needs, wounds, illnesses, and addictions. The game is not only huge, it's massive. Like, you know, your mama. V Rising. In this survival action RPG, you will awaken as a weakened vampire after centuries of slumber. You will hunt for blood in nearby settlements to regain your strength, while hiding from the scorching sun and aggressive garlic loaves. You will also have to rebuild your castle from ruins, and convert humans into your loyal servants in a quest to raise your vampire empire. People on Steam are saying that the combat here is largely dependent on skill and not on RNG, which is undoubtedly one of the best features of this game. Also, the co-op part of V Rising is made very well, so if you have a friend, you have my all recommendations to play this game together, and I literally mean together, not against each other. Returnal. This is an incredibly beautiful action roguelite bullet hell. Here, after crash landing on a weird shape-shifting world, you must search through the barren landscape of an ancient civilization for your escape. All alone, you find yourself fighting for survival until death. Yours, of course, again and again. When you are defeated, you are forced to restart this journey every time you die. The fun thing is that you'll discover that just as the planet changes with every cycle, so do the items at your disposal. Every loop offers new combinations, empowering you to push your boundaries and approach combat with a different strategy each time. In other words, this is roguelike, but it's not boring at all. Game is still very expensive, but if you want something brainless and beautiful, you know, look at the mirror. Anyway, jokes aside, this is truly beautiful brainless bullet hell, although system requirements are quite high, so be sure you have them above minimum. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This is an awesome game. Well, 3 remastered games in one, remade with shiny new graphics and details. Although I must admit that the graphics of the first part are still morally old. So the more you play, the more beautiful the game gets. So don't expect miracles, these are all the games with not so fancy overhaul as Crysis franchise. First Mass Effect was released in 2007, so really long time ago. Anyway, if you like science fiction space operas, Mass Effect is one of the best there is. It has a great plot, many twisted turns of events, mysteries on every corner, giant robots, giant spaceships and giant space stations. Everything is giant here. It's also full of great characters as well, and it has about 90% of positive reviews on Steam. By buying Legendary Edition, you will get all 3 remastered Mass Effect games with all the DLCs and other stuff included and remade in one huge game. And one important thing. If you like my videos, you can support me on Patreon and become a sponsor of every video I make. Terra Nil. This is a game about transforming a barren, lifeless landscape into a thriving, vibrant called Beristan. Here you will turn dead soil into fertile grassland, clean polluted oceans, plant sprawling forests, and create the ideal habitat for animals to call home. You will use advanced eco-technology to purify the soil, creating plains, wetlands, rainforests, beaches, wildflowers, and so on. Then efficiently recycle everything you've built, leaving the environment pristine for its new animal inhabitants. The landscapes are procedurally generated, so no 2 playthroughs will ever be the same. They may look the same, feel the same and play the same, but they won't be the same. That's the beauty of procedural generation with a spoon of salty irony. So here you'll enjoy lush, hand-painted environments, relaxing music and an atmospheric ambient soundscape. It is a wonderful game with a very positive review score on Steam. A Story About My Uncle. This is a first-person platforming adventure game about a boy who searches for his lost uncle and ends up in the world he couldn't imagine existed. So I guess your uncle is actually cool here, and not the type which sits you on his lap and touches your leg softly. He said to you that you should be happy because he works as a Santa in the mall, but your mother always said that he is a janitor in school. Wonder why? So you have your doubts about Uncle Steve. Fair doubts indeed. So nothing like that in this game. Here you'll use your uncle's mysterious inventions that let you jump incredibly high, uncover clues to your uncle's whereabouts, and meet fantastical creatures that will help you on your journey. Also, you may get motion sick and vomit on your keyboard. Just look at this up and down movement. That is enough to sicken an astronaut. Well, probably not, but 10 minutes of playtime was enough for me to start feeling sick. Although I should say that I succumb to motion sickness quite easily. You may feel nothing. Anyway, if that is not a problem for you, keep in mind that above 90% of reviews on Steam are positive, so this is definitely a good game. Industria. On the evening of the fall of the Berlin Wall, you somehow enter a parallel dimension to find your missing coworker, so you can realize that this is absolutely a fictional story, because usually most of us hate our coworkers. Well, and of course there's also that parallel dimension thingy, but that may happen, you never know. So the search for your work colleague takes you deep into the center of the mysterious facility, right into the heart of the universe itself. The game is short, it will only take away 4 hours of your life, but there is a huge chance that you will enjoy it if you like industry punk genre, something in between of cyberpunk and steampunk. Also, it is not only an alternative universe, but also an alternative past, where you have to solve many mysteries and defend yourself every moment you roam around the dangerous neighborhoods. People who play the game are saying that this is a surprisingly good and surprisingly underrated indie game. It is similar to Half-Life in some way, but keep in mind that it is linear and just meant to shortly entertain you. It could be a great prologue to a much bigger game, but as an indie title, it definitely lives up to expectations. Abzu. From the art director of Journey, Abzu is a beautiful underwater adventure that evokes the dream of diving. Here you'll immerse yourself in a vibrant hidden world, bursting with color and life as you descend into the heart of the ocean. But beware, as you swim deeper you will confront the dangers lurking in the depths. Nah, I'm kidding, you can't actually die here, and you have no fighting skills as well. This game is a pure adventure, a real member of the walking simulator family. Well, swimming simulator I guess. Although keep in mind that without a controller it is almost impossible to play it. Even with controller it may prove to be a challenge at first, but after a while your brain will adapt and you won't be thinking all the time which button you actually want to press. The adventure is a bit naive, so the game is suitable for children as well. Also for your mother, just help her with the controls, otherwise she may say something like,
"I don't understand anything. I want to go up, but it goes down. This BS is still happening even if I'm pressing all the right buttons."
No, you're not, so let me show you. So if you played Journey, you probably will like Abzu as well. This is a great game, you have my sincere recommendations, although keep in mind that this game is just like your Ding Dong. Very short. Deflector. This is a top-down action roguelite where you dive deep into hostile worlds teeming with viruses. You will encounter increasingly challenging enemies with your weapons and their own deflected projectiles. You will also have to choose one of several bioshells, each with unique weapons, abilities and means of deflecting projectiles. You know, the name of the game is not just a fancy word. It's your profession, I guess. I can even imagine the job listing for the task.
Must have at least 50 years experience of deflecting. Have to speak native level of Spanish, English, Lithuanian, Ukrainian and Mandarin. Must be proactive, must have experience of koala breeding, taming ostriches and at least PhD in quantum physics. Salary €3 an hour.
To be honest, all the job ads sounds this way. So here every world you'll visit is filled with unique hostile fauna, ready to swarm you with their pathetic bodies and stingy bullets. The game is difficult and dying here will be your daily routine. Every enemy is deadly, from the smallest stuff to the imposing apex virus at the end of each world. But don't you worry, you will learn to overcome every foe through trial and error. Well, honestly, probably not, I'm just being nice, but you may have fun anyway. The review score is close to 90%, so if you like the style, think of getting it. Remember Me. This is an action-adventure where you will take on a role of a former elite memory hunter with the ability to break into people's minds and steal or even alter their memories. What is more cyberpunk than that, huh? So the authorities, fearful of your knowledge and capabilities, arrested you and wiped your memory clean. After the escape from prison, you set out on a mission to recover your identity. This search for the past will lead you to being hunted by the very people that created this surveillance society. The action is set in a Paris of the future, so get ready for a very cool environment. People are saying that the game has an interesting story, and even if it's a bit older, graphics are still kinda decent. Jusant. This is an action puzzle climbing game and a meditative journey to the top of a tall tower. It may not seem much, but the review score on Steam is way above 90%, and that is a proof that this game is amazing. Well, at least awesome. You will challenge yourself at your own pace, explore different ways to climb, and unravel the secrets of a bygone civilization. While playing, you will master your climbing tools and will have to watch your stamina meter to successfully navigate the mysterious and changing tower. Well, watching your stamina is not a thing I usually like in games. You know, when you watch your stamina bar, you actually miss the rest of the game. But Jusant is showing your stamina bar clearly and not somewhere in the corner, so it's done right. Anyway, as you go higher and hone your skills, you'll have to figure out how best to use the tools at your disposal to get where you want to go. What is the best way? Is there an alternative path? And yes, usually there are. You can explore them to find the clues about what happened here. The game doesn't rush you, you play at your own pace. As you climb, you come across beautiful biomes full of flora and fauna, accompanied by a beautiful and atmospheric soundtrack, although there is some danger as well. Arid, windy slopes can be deadly, so seek refuge in tunnels lit only by bioluminescence. Rain on your parade. Let me start with the fact that the game has an overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam, and it is well deserved. This is a comedy game where you play as a mean cloud determined to ruin everybody's day, just like that coworker of yours you immensely hate. You will play across a wide range of levels, while unlocking new abilities and mechanics that get progressively more ridiculous. It's a mix of puzzle and adventure. You travel across the world inventing new ways of causing chaos and mayhem, just like your cat on Zoomies. Turn the perfectly dry and sunny wedding day into a wet one, and not in a good sense if you know what I mean. Unleash thunder and lightning upon the cities, bring pandemonium to supermarket shoppers, destroy farmers' crops, sneak around military bases, and rain down meteors on dinosaurs. Yeah, it's all your fault, or will be. It is a fantastic game, a must-play for everyone who ever felt hate, even for a little. War Mongrels. You'll fight Nazis and show them who's the boss. The storyline is history-inspired and will guide you through the journey of two Wehrmacht soldiers. They go from deserters to hefty guerrilla fighters when they realize that everything they were told is a lie. Sneaking, distraction, silent kills and using the environment are some of the main skills you will have to learn. But a stock of firearms will also be available and useful in completing mission objectives. Well, we all know how it goes. At first you will try to be sneaky like a ninja, like a wind in the grass, like a shadow in the forest, like a silent fart you let out in front of your mother-in-law, and then you mess up everything and go guns blazing. Sometimes you will succeed, sometimes you will die and repeat, or uninstall, depending on your mood and temper. Game also has implemented co-op multiplayer for 2 players, so you and your imaginary friend can play together. Also, what I like the most, that there is no censorship. You will encounter piles of dead bodies, blood, and real Nazi flags. Titan Station. This is a retro sci-fi adventure that takes us far into the future, in the year of 1999. Yeah, the retro future is in the past, but somehow we have all these wonderful things we managed to achieve with the technology of the past. A really cool genre reminding us of all these science fiction novels we have read in our teens. So here you are, a systems operator, casual worker of the space station. But after arriving, your mundane work turns into a struggle for your very life as you make a shocking discovery. You have to believe me here, because this is not a channel of spoilers. Most of the time. Well, half of the time. Still, that counts. Subscribe. Anyway, the station is connected to Saturn's moon Titan by an elevator and pipeline system. Really cool concept. Here you won't find any combat, and the game itself will take about 4 hours to complete. If you liked games like The Invincible, Outer Wilds or Observation, Titan Station is your spoon of potato salad. More than 90% of reviews on Steam are positive. And now thank you for watching. Also, if you like my videos, you can support me on Patreon. and this way become a sponsor of every video I make. Have a nice day, bye.